Everybody knows Queen. Everybody knows Bohemian Rhapsody, but very few people know. There was a time when Queen looked like a complete failure. Their first albums barely sold. Critics hated them. Radio station ignored them. Even their record label wasn't sure the band would survive. Then, one thought changed everything. It wasn't Bohemian Rhapsody, it was Killer Queen. This is how Queen became Queen. So before there was a band called Queen, there was actually a different band called Smile. Brad May played guitar, Roger Taylor played drums, and honestly, they had real talent. What they didn't have was a frontman. That's where things get interesting, because one of people who kept showing up to watch Smile play was a guy named Freddie Mercury. And Freddie wasn't the type to just stand in the back and enjoy the show. He was full of opinions, full of ideas, and pretty quickly he became part of the band himself. One of the first things he did, he said the band's name was terrible, so he changed it. Smile became Queen. A lot of people around them thought the name was a little ridiculous, honestly, but Freddie didn't care what people saw. He actually loved it, because he figured nobody would ever forget a name like that. Turns out, he was right. There was still one problem, though. They couldn't hold on to a bass player. People joined, people left, nobody really stuck around. And then, almost by accident, a quiet 19 years old engineering student walked in the audition. His name was John Deacon. He didn't try to impress anyone in the room. He didn't talk much, didn't have big personality to sell. He just played. And somehow, that was enough. It was the first time when actually had all 4 members in place. The lineup that, from the point on, never changed again. Here's the thing people tend to forget. Queen didn't become famous overnight, not even close. Their first album came out, and honestly, the reviews were mixed at best. Some critics called them pretentious, others said they were just trying to copy Led Zeppelin's sound. But the band didn't really slow down because of that. If anything, they kept pushing further. Heavier guitars, weird opera-style harmonies, layer after layer of vocals stacked top of each other. Nobody else sounds like that at the time, and that was actually part of the problem. Radio stations and record labels didn't know what to do with a band that didn't fit into any existing category. Nobody knew how to market them. By 1974, things were starting to wear the band down. They were exhausted from constant touring. Money was tight, and there wasn't really a clean sign that any of this was going to pay off. Then Freddie showed up with a song that was completely different from anything they had done before. It wasn't heavy, it wasn't some long, brawling, prog rock piece. It was almost the opposite, elegant, stylish, and little theatric, even playful. That song was Killer Queen. Some people around the band weren't totally convinced at first. It didn't sound like anything else on the radio at the time, but that ended up being exactly why people remembered it. The song exploded. It became Queen's first real international hit, and almost overnight, people who'd never heard about the band suddenly knew exactly who they are. Even the critics who'd dismissed them started changing their tune. The band began selling out bigger venues, and for the first time, America really started paying attention to Queen had finally arrived, and here's the part was sitting with. Without Killer Queen, might never been a Bohemian Rhapsody. When people think about Queen today, they usually picture Wembley, Live Aid, Bohemian Rhapsody. But every legendary story has a beginning, and for Queen, that beginning wasn't a stadium. It wasn't even Bohemian Rhapsody. It was 4 musicians who refused to become ordinary, and one song that changed everything, Killer Queen.